What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to crack like that. And we are going to be talking about a mock trade scenario that has came up when it comes to Detroit Lions in the draft. And we kind of just touched over it and we reacted to it real quick. But, I've got actually a couple requests on Instagram. Definitely go follow me on Instagram. I mean, what are you doing if you're not following me on Instagram? Anyways, got some requests. And they're like, hey, can you talk about this again? And I was like, yeah, let's talk about it. So I decided to go look back and kind of remember what we were actually looking at. And I read through the details, and now I have a decision on whether or not the Lions should actually make this happen. Deal or no deal? That's what I've come up with. I know, it's not original at all. I have no idea. I'm trying to think of something cool, you know what I mean? Like, trade or no trade. That's kind of lame. Swap or no swap? Swapped or swapped? Swapped or swapped? What are we doing? I don't know. I went with deal or no deal. There's definitely probably better options. Think of something. Let me know in the comments and we'll change it. But we're going to be talking about this mock trade scenario. So let's get it started. So if you guys don't know, we reacted to a video. I think a lot of you guys do know that. Actually, video did pretty well. But we reacted to potential trade scenarios for Detroit Lions when it came to the draft. Trade back scenarios. One of those scenarios was this. The Detroit Lions trading back with the New Orleans Saints and acquiring their 24th pick. Now, initially, that doesn't sound very good because you're dropping from 3 all the way to 24. So you're thinking you're going to get a pretty hefty return. The Saints don't have tons to give. So they are definitely looking at different options, future picks, players, if they want to make something like this happen. Now, let me just get this out of the way, okay, real quick. We're going to be going by the scenario that was put out online, that was put out by heavy.com, and I think it was 12 up. We're going to be going by that, okay? I'm not making my own scenarios up here. We're going by that one, okay, just to keep it fair. Obviously, this may not happen, and the Saints would have to offer this. It doesn't just happen. So if I say deal, it doesn't mean, hey, Lions are doing it. No, they have to offer this. But you know what? We might as well talk about it because it's fun, and I like talking about the draft. I don't know if you don't, but I do. Anyways, let's talk about it. So the thought is here, Detroit Lions are going to be moving back 21 spots with the New Orleans Saints, and the Saints are going to come up. Now, why would the Saints move up? Because they still have Drew Brees. Well, they're going to move up to find their future quarterback. They could probably sit him for a year behind Drew Brees. He's on I think he's on a 2-year deal, and that would be Tua Tagovailoa. Now, they don't have to go Tua. Obviously, there's Justin Herbert. If they want to go that route, if he fell, maybe Joe Burrow fell or something like that. They could go that route, but probably not. If you're moving up to 3, you're probably going to take who you think is the best quarterback available. That may be Herbert. I'm not saying it's not. Probably not like a Jordan Love. Maybe Herbert, but I'm thinking Tua, and by this scenario here, went with Tua. It really doesn't matter. Either way, they're trading up to 3 to get a quarterback to put behind Drew Brees for a year or two, and then that quarterback can take over. So that's the thought behind the Saints trading up, because at 24, you're thinking maybe Jacob Eason, Jordan Love, and if you don't love either of those guys, get it, then it doesn't make sense to trade up. So they trade up, right? Now, what are they going to give the Detroit Lions? Well, obviously, they're giving us a 24th pick. They don't actually have a second-round pick. However, they're going to give us their third-round pick. They have one third-round pick at number 88, and they're also going to be giving us a player and a future pick. All right, let's hear about this. This is good stuff. So we're going to get a third-round pick, their 24th pick this season. We're going to get a future first-round pick for 2021. So next year, we're getting their first-round pick, and here's the kicker, Alvin Kamara, the running back from the New Orleans Saints. So that's what the Lions get, a hefty return in a different way. It's not just draft capital, it's also a player and a future pick. So it's kind of an interesting, different trade back scenario that we've looked at. And I think when I put this out, a lot of people were excited. They're like, wow, that'd be so awesome. And I wasn't really thinking at the time, this would be an amazing trade back scenario for the Detroit Lions. Look, let's just think about it for a second. Alvin Kamara is on the last year of his deal, right? So if you wanted to bring him back past this season, you would have to sign him to extension, which you could. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But he could pair with Kerryon Johnson for at least this season and, see if Kerryon Johnson can stay healthy when he's not the main go-to running back. If he can split time with Alvin Kamara. Now, sure, it might take away time from some other running backs, but if he can split time, this could keep Kerryon Johnson healthy, and maybe he could finally have a really good season. It would also allow us to have a weapon like Alvin Kamara, which is basically Theo Riddick on steroids. Let's just be honest. Theo Riddick on steroids would be Alvin Kamara. Why? Not because Alvin Kamara does steroids. I don't think he'd be in the NFL if that's the case. He'd probably be in trouble. But because Alvin Kamara is a heck of a player, and if you can think of just Stafford when he had Theo Riddick, how many times he went to Theo Riddick, how big Theo Riddick was in a passing game, and Theo Riddick could actually if he could just run the football, he probably would still be here. He was so good, and I don't even really hear about Theo Riddick. Alvin Kamara with Matthew Stafford would be insane. That would be a problem for a lot of teams. Stafford loves to go to his running backs, and Alvin Kamara loves catching the football. But let's look at some stats from last season. He had 4.7 yards per carry on 797 yards. Obviously good. Actually, going back to his first year, the guy's only 24 years old. His first year, he averaged 6.1 yards per carry. I'm not making that up. In the NFL, yes, not making that up. Now, let's talk about receptions. 2019, 81 receptions. 81. You want to talk about a guy that likes to catch the ball? It's him. And obviously, the Saints knew it. They went to him a lot. 81 receptions. I think it was like 95 targets. He caught 83.5% of his targets. That's insane. I understand he's running back. A lot of them are short passes, but it's still very good for 533 yards. Matthew Stafford could live going to Alvin Kamara. That would be, oh my gosh, that'd be a weapon. And then his market value would be $13.5 million average. The projected contract is 4 years, $54 million. So if the Lions wanted to pay him again to bring him back, they could. It'd be a lot of money. They would have to make those decisions, right? Did they have the opportunity to do it, knowing that you had to bring back Kenny Galladay and maybe someone else in? That's something that they can wait on, right? And figure that out a little bit later. I don't really want to go into that too much. Can they afford it? Because I have no idea what's going to happen after this season. I don't even know who our coaches are going to be next season. So I don't want to get into that too much, but at least for this season, it'd be great. Now you're also acquiring a third pick in the draft, a third round pick. That's solid, right? We've hit on all third round picks. Our third round has been our gold mine, right? Graham Glasgow, Kenny Galladay. We have smacked some third round picks. Second round, not so much. Third round, yes. So we're getting a third round pick. 3 third round picks. You can't go wrong there. There is some good mid-round talent that the Lions could use, whether it's an offensive lineman. Some of the top interior offensive linemen are going to be in the third round. There's some solid cornerbacks out there. The Detroit Lions want to go that route. And then I think what an extra third-round pick does is it opens up some of those people that want to see us draft a backup quarterback, like a Jalen Hurts or a Jake Fromm. That could be a possibility, potentially even Jacob Eason if he falls in the third round if we have another one. Maybe the Detroit Lions can go with a wide receiver here and get, a Colin Johnson, a Devin Duvernay. I really don't know. A Donovan Peoples-Jones if he falls. KJ Hill, something like that. They could do that because they have the extra third-round picks to go on a weapon. Possibly, usually would say running back, but probably not. You could go with a safety here if the Lions wanted to try to find a bigger safety, maybe if a Jeremy Chin or Kyle Duggar falls. Okay, that would be your option. You would be able to open up a couple of different options if you had an extra third-round pick. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, that's cool and all, but the 24th, what the heck are we going to do with that? We're losing so much talent. Yes, you are losing some big talent, but keep in mind what our needs are, okay? Our needs are not quarterback. Our needs are edge rusher and corner and lineman. That's something that we could find at the end of the draft. Sure, there's only one Chase Young, but let's be honest, sitting at 3, our odds of getting Chase Young are probably 50-50 at this point. So if we can't get him anyways, what's the point of sitting at 3 unless you're going after Isaiah Simmons? And I love Isaiah Simmons, but if the Lions are going to get a return like this, that's pretty wild. So at your 24, right, what are you going after? Well, there's a lot of options, and I don't know who's going to be available, so I'm going to run through a lot of them. A guy like A.J. Epinesa, who I think is the second best edge rusher in this draft, would be available. There could be Curtis Weaver in the third round if you get an extra third round pick. If they wanted to go edge rusher early, A.J. Epinesa. Yetur Gross-Matos, again, Penn State, another Big Ten player. If they wanted to go with another edge. Cesar Ruiz, if they want to fill out that guard spot right away, their first pick in the draft could be a guard. And I know it doesn't seem like a first pick because at 24, but he's a very good guard, and we need to replace Graham Glasgow, help out that O-line. I think O-line is the most underrated thing, and too many people sleep on it. Everybody wants to see the skill positions. I do too. We need playmakers. We also need trenches, and Cesar Ruiz could definitely help out there with the loss of Graham Glasgow. The Lions could go with the route of going like Neville Gallimore. If they want to stack the defensive line, he could be available. Maybe Noah from Auburn. I can't say his last name. I'm not going to try it. The cornerback. Possibly if Fulton is there. Maybe C.J. Henderson. There's a lot of options, and with all these players, someone's bound to be available. If they want to go top running back, which obviously would make sense, tackle, maybe if they want to get a tackle, move Big V to guard. A lot of options. One of those are going to be available at 24, so Lions are going to have their opportunity to pick from different positions, whatever they want to go to. So they're still going to have possibilities, and they're also acquiring a 2021 first-round pick, which at its worst is a 32nd pick in the draft next season. So Lions can either keep that and say, hey, look, I'm Bob Quinn. I have another first-round pick for next season. We're going to be set. Or the Lions could say, maybe we'll trade it back in. We'll trade it back into this year's draft. What do I mean? We give someone that pick to move back into this year's draft. Maybe we acquire a second-round pick for that. Oh, snap. Now look at what we just did. Or we acquire a player for it. Maybe go get a Joe Thuney. I don't know. Lions would have tons of options. They would have a nice, nice little thing to hold on to. For the rest of the draft, the rest of the day's draft, they can hold on to that extra first-round pick and say, okay, we know we got to win this year. We can hold this, but if there's someone that comes available, we're going to have the ammunition to say, hold up, I'm trading up with you. Give me that player. It's kind of a no-brainer to me. If this was an option, I would accept it in a heartbeat. I understand Chase Young's there, take him, but man, this is incredible. Obviously, it's just hypothetical, but I did want to touch on that. So I appreciate the people that wanted to see this again. And here you go. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Brett, for watching, and I'm out.